guys, this is Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews, and today we are going to talk about treadmills versus ellipticals. Now, if you are new to building a home gym, you're probably looking at a piece of cardio equipment to fit that space, and there are so many different pros and cons to each machine, and we're going to go through that. You have to take in factors things like price, the space available, what your body goals are, what your overall goals for the space is, and hopefully through this we can kind of guide you to make a better choice about what piece of equipment will be best for you. But first, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on all things fitness. We are getting ready to shoot a plyo box review that is loaded with information on plyo boxes. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk for 20 minutes about a box, but you should be thrilled to hear it. Lastly, if there are any products we talk about today you want to purchase, go ahead and use the link below the like button to do so. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use those links, but does give us a small commission, helps us continue bringing you videos like this one. So first, let's go ahead and break down the pros and cons of an elliptical. Ellipticals are a low-impact cardio machine that is supposed to simulate a walking or running motion. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do think it is a great low-impact cardio machine. So if you're somebody who struggles with joint pain, any sort of knee injury, ankle mobility, or maybe you're recovering from an injury, this definitely could be a great option to look at. Now, I don't think you are going to get the same movement from an elliptical as you would running outside or running on a treadmill. However, it is going to involve your arms in a different aspect than running would because you have those arm handles. So the arm handles with an elliptical are going to work in tandem with the motion of your feet, kind of creating more of a full body cardio workout. When you are using the elliptical, you're activating things like your lats, your chest, a little bit of your core, and then of course your lower body, things like your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, and your calves. Now, there are a lot of different ellipticals out there. I would say the majority of ellipticals don't have any sort of incline or resistance settings, but there are some. Of course, they cost more. That if you are wanting an incline and resistance setting, you can find them, but the vast majority, it's kind of a one-size-fits-all, and it's not as customizable as maybe you would find with a treadmill. Unfortunately, one thing with ellipticals is they are going to take up a bigger space because most of them don't fold up. Whereas you can find a ton of treadmills that fold up, you're not able to find as many ellipticals that fold up, and they're just going to take up a larger footprint. So if space is something you need to consider when you're building out your home gym or you're adding a piece of cardio equipment to it, then you're definitely going to want to measure the space to make sure you have enough of it, because again, ellipticals aren't the most portable and they don't fold up very easily or very often. Another thing that I will mention is ellipticals are more of a one-size-fits-all. So Brittany here at GGR, she's our tiny little cute human friend who is like 4'10.5", and that's like me giving her an extra half an inch, has tried plenty of ellipticals, and one complaint that she has had is the stride length of the machine is longer than her natural stride length of her body. And that is because it is a predetermined stride length that you can't adjust. I would imagine it's the same with taller users, where if they have a longer natural stride length, then the machine might cut them off at a shorter stride length. So it's definitely something to consider. It might not be that big of a deal for some people, but if you are somebody who is on the shorter side or the taller side, it might not be as comfortable. Now, treadmills are a piece of cardio equipment that I am sure everybody and their mother has heard about. They are going to simulate jogging, walking, and running more closely than any other piece of cardio equipment to what it feels like to run outside. The treadmill that you are probably most familiar with is a motorized treadmill, and that is where the motor is going to power the belt deck. So as you run forward, the belt deck is actually going to be moved backwards. Most treadmills hit around a 12-mile-per-hour range. Now, there are treadmills that I would recommend more for walking that don't hit that 12-mile-per-hour range, and of course, there are treadmills that hit a 15-mile-per-hour range, and that is incredibly fast. I would say on average, most hit around the 12-mile-per-hour range. They also can come with incline and some even decline settings. So if you're looking to mimic any sort of hills outside, then that is a great option as well. Now, another type of treadmill is a manual treadmill, and that does not have a motor. It has a heavy belt deck that almost has like a flywheel effect. So as you are running forward, the belt deck is moving backwards. Now, it doesn't have any sort of settings. You as the athlete are going to determine the speed at which that belt deck is going, and then of course, how fast you are running. So if you speed up, the belt deck will speed up. If you slow down, the belt deck will slow down. The last treadmill I want to mention is a curved treadmill, and it is also a manual treadmill, but it does have a concaved belt deck. Now, the thought behind this is that it's going to put you into better running form. So it is forcing you to strike with your midfoot, which is exactly what we want to see. And the idea is to hopefully prevent any sort of injury on your running journey. Now, treadmills are going to focus on a lower body workout. Now, you are going to involve your arms some just because of your running motion. And also, if you've done any sort of speed work, any sort of sprint work, you know that your core is going to be taxed by the end of it. However, most of it is going to focus on muscles like your calves, your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quads. In terms of portability, I do find that the majority of treadmills are a little bit more portable than you would find with ellipticals. Basically, a lot of treadmills will fold up into an upright position, making them super portable and also save on tons of space. Things that I'm thinking of are the Sol F63 or the Horizon 7.0, both more lightweight treadmills, very portable, and fold up into an upright position. A couple cons with treadmills. One, it's a higher impact workout. So if you are new to running, if you are a beginner, a lot of people are going to experience maybe some shin splints, maybe some ankle or knee pain. Now, there's a lot of factors that can go into why that is. Maybe it's improper running form, maybe it's bad shoes, but whatever the case, it is a higher impact workout. Whereas anybody can hop onto an elliptical, and because of its low impact nature, you're not going to have as much discomfort. In terms of price, I mean, you could find a high-end treadmill and spend easily thousands of dollars, but I think the same is true with the elliptical. For example, the Nordic Track Commercial 14.9 elliptical is around $1,800. So again, you can definitely break the bank with either option. And then of course, there are more budget-friendly options with both the treadmill and the elliptical. So in terms of price, I feel like they're equal. You'll really be able to just find whatever fits your budget the best, whether that's a treadmill or an elliptical. In terms of calories, both machines are going to give you a great cardiovascular workout. So there was a study done by Harvard, and essentially it came to the conclusion that if a 5'4", around 130, 135 pound person works at a moderate rate on an elliptical, and then I also work at a moderate rate on a treadmill, I'm essentially burning the same amount of calories. So really there isn't a benefit to ellipticals versus treadmills in terms of calories burned. Generally, treadmills are going to be more customizable of the two. Now, like I said earlier, you can find ellipticals that have an incline setting or a resistance setting, but that's not the majority, whereas with treadmills, you're almost always going to find at least a speed option, and then of course, some treadmills also include an incline and a decline setting. In terms of programming, both ellipticals and treadmills can offer programming, so whether that's a heart rate based program or a customizable program or a preset program, you can find both ellipticals and treadmills that are going to offer you both. I think that if you are somebody who struggles with joint pain, any sort of mobility issues, is needing a low impact workout, and you have the space available, then maybe an elliptical would be a better fit for you. However, if you want something that is a little bit more customizable to your needs, you don't mind more of a hard impact workout, or you need to save space a little bit and you need that availability in order to fold up a treadmill, then maybe a treadmill would be a better option for you. Let us know in the comments what one you would choose for yourself and why. We would love to hear it. I am Lindsay with Broad Stream Reviews, and we'll see you back here next time. Peace.